Right, question 9. The table contains terms and descriptions about the internet. Complete the table with the missing terms and descriptions. So to access this question, you need to know the difference between the internet and the World Wide Web, which a lot of people don't. The World Wide Web, that describes the data that we try and access. The internet describes the devices and the networks that we use to access that data. So World Wide Web is data, internet, hardware. Right, the collective name for all the web pages available, so we just talked about that. That's World Wide Web. Okay, a small text file stored by the web browser that can store a user's personal data. So web browsers store cookies. Cookies are used by the web browser to help display the web pages correctly, and also to sort of tailor the experience a bit more for the user, to personalize the experience. So things like when you start filling in a form online, your personal data might be stored in a cookie, and the web browser will automatically fill in names and addresses and things like that. So we have cookies. Right, Uniform Resource Locator, or URL. That's the address that we type when we want to access a website or a web page. And that's a text-based address. So let's pop that on here. Text-based address for a web page. Right, so a web server. So a server is just a computer on a network that has resources for the users of that network to use. So a web server is simply a server on a network that has web pages. So let's pop that on there. So a server is a computer on a network. So a web server is a computer on a network, so it's a server. And importantly, a web server has web pages. So you can say a web server has web pages on it, but the correct way would be to say it hosts web pages. Whoops. Right. Okay. The language used to create a website. Now, using example tags. So the language used to create websites is HTML, and it uses tags. So that's just something you need to know. Hypertext markup language. And then a protocol that is used to request and send web pages. So every single time you type in a URL or web address, if you look at the start of the web address, there will be the protocol. And your protocols usually have the letter P in them. And hopefully you're thinking of, there are two actually that you can use to request and send web pages. One is HTTP and the other one is HTTPS. So either of those will be fine. I'm going to go for HTTPS because it's a bit more secure and safe. Right, let's check out the mark scheme for this. So we have World Wide Web, we've got cookies, we've got a text-based address for a website. Yeah, text-based address for a web page, we'll take that. Web server stores web pages, receives requests from clients, returns requested web page. Web server, computer on a network, a web server hosts web pages. Yeah, we got that. So HTML is a language for web pages, and HTTP, we've got HTTPS, which is fine. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. With the web server, they've also added receives requests from clients and returns requested web pages. So you type in the URL, that gets turned into an IP address, that then is used to access the web server and ask for the web page to be sent back to you. But we're looking for one mark here, so I think we've very adequately covered that. Okay, right, let's stop this video and then move on to question 10.